Jack Tech Tips. Passionate about technology. YouTuber, geek, tech head, internet personality. Here you will find a variety of podcasts talking about the coolest products on the planet. From the newest smartphone to surprising gadgets and technology you never knew existed. It's all here on Jack Tech Tips.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's been a while since I've done a video, so I'm getting back to my old ways of creating some more video contents, and I'll be bringing some presenters on very soon anyway, so hold fire for that very soon. We're going to do some tech reviews at our go-to place, login in Camden very soon, but I'm back at home today doing a test on speed, testing my hard drive out on my M1 Mac, comparing that against an external hard drive plugged into it, which is a 18TB Seagate drive, and then testing it against an NVMe drive that's plugged in by USB to see what the speed difference is. Because I'm running Final Cut Pro, I'm using my 18TB to store my project files on, and I'm finding it a bit laggy at the moment. It's as I add more layers on my production and my products I'm doing, it gets a bit slow and tedious. I have to wait around for the rendering, it takes ages. So I put my projector screen on, which is behind me. I'm watching a bit of telly while I'm waiting for the files to render, which is like tedious. So I wanted to find another way of ramping speed up. So I could buy a new Mac Mini with more storage, which I should have done in the first place. But my storage internally on my Mac is only 512 gig, so it won't last very long on a few projects, basically. Such as these recording stuff I record are quite large files anyway. And that grind my Mac to halt. So I decided to put on an external drive, 18TB, plenty of project storage space, but it just, yeah, more layers I add on, the more complex it gets, and rendering slows down a little bit, and it's just, yeah, if I'm in a rush, I can't do stuff in a rush, but if I'm on a rush, it could take ages. So I put the projector on, watch a film, wait for it to render, and then do the whole circle again, so I don't get through many videos at one time. And I'm recording quite a lot of videos, covering lots of local events where I live. So speed is essential. So I thought, I must do something. I've got a spare NVMe drive, 2TB, got to do something with it. Will that help my speed? And so this is a test we're going to do and see what you think. So let's get on testing. I'm going to be using a testing called Desktopsupport version 2.3 running on the Mac Mini. So hopefully the recording the screen won't actually skew the results much, but at least it gives you an idea on the speed differences from these three different styles of hard drive. So let's go and have a look.
Talking about NVMe drives. So I've got my NVMe drive. Let me try and change my desktop so I can unstack everything. So that's my NVMe drive. And we also got my standard hard drive, which is plugged into the external USB. The NVMe drive is also plugged in the USB as well. But this is a normal hard drive. It's an enterprise NAS drive that I'm using, 18TB. This is a 2TB NVMe drive plugged in over USB on the Mac, the iMac. And I must say the iMac is an iMac Mini we have. And also then we have the normal conventional hard drive built into the Mac Mini, the M1, which is only 512 gigabits. So I kind of want to show you the difference in speed. And we're going to test these out. We're going to use a piece of software called, and I've got to locate it on my Windows somewhere, had it earlier. If I flick back, it's on one of these screens. It's Desktopsupport we're going to use. So first of all, we're going to test the actual internal hard drive of the M1 Mac to give you a rough idea. Well, now I might do that actually. Let's do a conventional hard drive first. So we do my projects, which is a 18TB Seagate enterprise drive. It's my go-to drive because it's where I store everything on it. So we'll test that one first. So let's pick that one out. My project's 18TB. Fair bit of use on it anyway. So hopefully this will record and give the same results, because sometimes it says on here when you do a test, don't use the Mac at all. But we'll also use the Mac for processing my audio as well as screenshotting, but it shouldn't make much difference. So here we go, we're going to test it off. So it doesn't take too long, read and write, and does it on sequence, no, I can't say the word, sequential, and then random, basically. Sequential is where it handles, I think that's where it handles all the big large files. And random is all your small little tiny files in between. Because what you got to understand with the NVMe drives, they normally handle better with large files, especially when you're handling like video files, things like that as well. Tends to do really, really well with. But when you start playing with lots of small files, it can sometimes slow NVMe drives down, or it slows down, so it doesn't copy as fast. So what I'm looking for is high sequential writes and reads that's important on my side from what I've been learning. So I'm still learning the NVMe, what it's all about and stuff. And I was doing this a bit earlier, and that's why I wanted to create a video about it. And it was very much like, wow. When I was doing the NVMe, the hard drive, and the internal Mac drive, I was shocked with the results I got from it. So this will be almost there. So there you go. So I'm not worried about the random writes because they always tend to be a lot lower. They handle small files, as I said. So we've got read speeds of 266 megabytes, and we've got write speeds of 258 megabytes as well. So that's off the standard hard drive, the Enterprise 18 terabytes. That's what I've been using so far for running my Final Cut Pro stuff across. What I've noticed as well is when I start using a lot of like special effects and overlays, things like that, it does suffer, and I have to wait around. Sometimes work on one project can take hours and hours before I can get it rendered off, and sometimes when it renders off, it doesn't always get the renders correctly. I have to go back several times over sometimes now, especially stuff I'm doing a bit more bigger. I've got a lot more titles in and other special effects running across it and things like that. It doesn't seem to be handling well. But so that's what I've been playing with at the moment. So now we're going to test the actual NVMe drives I've plugged into it, because I found start using that as my Final Cut Pro project files now. It's so much quicker. It chomps through the rendering really, really fast, and this is why. So that's that one there. So it's a 2 terabyte NVMe drive. I think it's a Seagate. I'm sure it's Seagate as well. Or it could be, I can't remember what it is now. No, I'm sure it's Seagate. It's definitely Seagate. Here we go. So here we go. So the first one was the hard drive. Now this is the NVMe plugged in into an external case, plugged in over USB. So it's using the Mac's USB port, which has got quite high bandwidth on it as well. So here we go. Won't take long. I'm taking a drink quickly while that's happening. This is in real time. So yeah, so we're looking at sequentials, which is more important to me because I'm using large files. So notice when I copy a lot of small files, they can take ages. But when you start copying big stuff across, it's so quick, especially on the NVMe drive. I do notice as well, when you're copying from Mac hard drive, which is its own SSD, onto the NVMe, it's really quick as well. It doesn't take too long, which is what I want. I want copying to speed it up. It saves time, because sometimes when you're copying lots of files, it could be a lot more. So there you go, look. So much higher speeds, 365 megabytes to 385 megabytes. I'm sure these results probably be a little bit more higher if I wasn't actually recording or screenshotting recording. So it might be much, much better. So there you go. So there you go. Even now, almost doubling the speeds, a lot more better. And I'm finding the NVMe drive does run really fast. Now let's do a test with the onboard built-in storage of the M1 Mac Mini. Here we go. So you can always see the random ones always much lower. So they're one that handles smaller files. And you can kind of see reason why it takes so long for smaller files like pictures, MP3 music, documents, things like that. Slow. But then when you're working on large files, like video files, or big databases, copying them, you can see it will handle on the higher speeds. So there we go. I've upgraded my iMac Mini with a dongle, USB dongle, to the 2.5 gigabit networking, so I can copy a lot faster now onto my server, which is an unraid server. So before I was only running a gigabit. Now the server has 2.5. I got 2.5 in the iMac Mini, and I've got a switch that can handle anything from gigabit, 2.5, 5 gigabits, and 10 gigabit networking now. So I could actually swap the card out from my server to a 10 gig card. I can upgrade my Mac dongle to 10 gig. I'll probably do a lot more quicker. But anyway, there you go. So on the sequential writes, which is the one point to us, this is the onboard Mac Mini's own storage. So it's only 512 storage. And it's handling, look, how high speeds those are, relentlessly massive higher. A lot more speed on that, but obviously my size of my drive is too small, because I could use that as my Final Cut Pro project storage files and stuff like that. But it's massively higher. Even on the reads on the random ones are even higher as well. a lot more than your conventional, your NVMe that's plugged into it, or the actual using an external hard drive. If I was using a desktop hard drive, which I haven't got one at the moment, so I couldn't compare it. I think that the speeds probably be a little bit less, because obviously this is an enterprise NAS drive, so I think they spin a little bit faster anyway. But this just gives you a comparison. M1 Mac Mini, copying using different ways. So I'm from this kind of like diagnostic, this kind of like what I'm thinking of is I definitely, when I upgrade to the Mac Mini, is to go for more storage internally, especially at these kind of speeds. That'll make my Final Cut Pro a lot more faster and quicker to play with. But there you go. So there's a quick comparison on speed. That's amazing.
So fantastic. So the NVMe drive kind of wins. The internal hard drive does definitely win, but obviously it's not big enough for me to store my files on. So I'm going to stick with the NVMe drive. I only got 2 terabytes to play with, so I can only do a couple of projects at a time, which is fine for me. It means if I can get things done, I can then wipe it off, because once I render the project as a file to upload, then that's it. I don't need to go back and visit it again. I can just delete it, remove it. So that will be a stopgap until I can afford to buy a Mac Mini. So my next project will be a Mac Mini M2 Ultra, get the whole works, get the top amount of megabyte of RAM I can get with it as well, and also the top storage capacity. I would love to have a Mac Mini Studio, fully geared out, but you're looking at about £10,000, and that's like 192 gigabyte of RAM. That's the full 8 terabyte storage, and all that kind of stuff. You start paying the Apple tax on it basically. But for speeds like this, I'm really happy to pay the Apple tax. If it gets jobs done quicker, faster, and out the door, and I can work on many projects at the same time, kind of thing. I can layer my projects up to make them more complex and make them better. Then that's what I'm going for, is speed. Speed's important to me, so I don't mind spending the extra Apple tax to get it if I can as well. So I need to do some testing as well across Final Cut Pro on the Mac Mini across my network, because my Unraid server is all NVMe cache with SSD drives as long-term storage. So that's got a lot of faster storage inside. It's running on an Intel, can't remember the processors now. The Intel Core processor, it's a high one. It's a 9 with 32 cores. It's got 64 gigabyte of DDR5 RAM. So it's got the gumph and the power in the box. It's got 2.4 gigabit networking, which I will upgrade to 10 gigabit networking. And I put that on my Mac Mini as well to see if actually rendering across the network to the server makes any more difference and whether it speeds my projects up. But that'll be a test for another day for you guys to watch very soon. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to all the lovely subscribers. So please keep subscribing and hit that subscribe button. Like my videos. If you don't like them, comment. Tell me what you think about it and stuff. And if any of my information is incorrect for any reason, please comment. Let me know about it, because I want to learn. I want to get bigger. I want to do more with this channel. I want to do something a bit more unique. And we'll talk about this blank wall very soon, because I've got rid of my telly. You can see, got rid of my telly. It's a blank wall, but I have a Samsung Freestyle projector, which is absolutely awesome. So another video coming out very soon with that as well. So stay tuned for more stuff from me, Jack Tactics. See you soon. Cheers. Bye.
Hi everyone, I'm Tammy.
And I'm Alex.
And we are from SMJ Media Group.
We create fun-filled content for local businesses and for you guys to enjoy.
If you enjoy our content and would like to see more and let us get more creative, there is a way you can sponsor us at buymeacoffee.com/SMJ
Media Group.
and buy us a coffee.